Urgent! Stay up to date with the latest from the Lakers. You won't want to miss the bombshell updates on Rondo and Dudley's potential signings. And there's more. Explosive news about Phil Handy and the trade plans involving Bruce Brown are stirring the basketball world. Stay tuned so you don't miss any details of this twist. And let's move on to today's news, but first, just check if you're already subscribed to the channel because the next videos will be a series of content that will help you stay informed about everything related to the Lakers. Hi everyone, I'm glad you're back. We have some new additions to the technical team, but we still have a lot to do. Scott Brooks and Nate McMillan were great to begin with, but now we need someone to help us sign and develop players. We got some of the former coaches we wanted, which is good, but there's still a lot of work to do. For a rookie coach like J.J. Redick, it's essential to build the best team possible around him. From the head assistant to the head of player development to the video coordinator, each member plays a crucial role. It is very important to choose excellent people for these roles. But before we go any further now, let's get back to the point. We already know who they are looking for on their coaching team. They are keeping an eye on former Lakers, Rajon Rondo, and Jared Dudley. Additionally, they also consider Alvin Gentry, a former coach of Anthony Davis. Let's update on Phil and go through all of this. And no, I'm not making any of this up. Rajon Rondo and Jared Dudley were mentioned by not one, but three different credible sources, including Dan Wokey of the LA Times and Mark Stein, all of whom are well respected. As for Alvin Gentry, that report comes from Brad Turner of the LA Times, another source we can trust. So they have several potential options, all very good in my opinion. But let's leave Phil Handy for later, we can explore that later. Another important point we need to address here is a potential trade target for them, something that has been mentioned before, as well as several other trade targets they are considering. And the player in question is Bruce Brown Jr. Let's talk about all of this, including who their coaching staff might be in today's video. Without wasting any time, let's get straight to the point. First, let's discuss the former Lakers who are being considered for training camp. I think it would be very interesting to see Rondo in this role. Like Redick, he would be entering the world of NBA coaching without any coaching experience, either in the NBA or even at the college level. But like Redick, Rondo is widely recognized as having a genius level of basketball IQ. He simply deeply understands how the game works, anticipating plays before they even happen. That alone could make you an incredible addition to the team, bringing valuable knowledge and a unique perspective. He used to predict plays before they even happened, something few players can do, especially during the game. This, in my opinion, would make him a super valuable addition to the team. He would bring a lot of experience, and is someone who has played with the team's current stars, even winning a championship with them about 4 years ago. I understand it could be risky with Rondo because he's known for being a bit temperamental and is facing some legal troubles right now. But still, I think he would be a great addition. He's played with LeBron and Anthony Davis before, so he knows their style well. It would be amazing to have a basketball mind like Rondo alongside Redick. It would be great for a young point guard like J&H Chipino. I believe he would be very receptive if they made him an offer. He already knows their team well and is very involved in the game, in my opinion. I think he would be a valuable and useful addition to help the team move forward. When it comes to Jared Dudley, he is quite similar to Rondo. I think he would fit perfectly into the team. However, I'm less confident about their chances of signing him. If they had considered him for a more prominent role, as one of the top assistants, they might have been more successful. Unfortunately, this no longer appears to be a viable option. Offering him a position as a third assistant would be a small step forward, but it probably wouldn't be enough to convince him to leave Dallas, where he's in a comfortable situation right now. However, unless LeBron and Anthony Davis almost forced Dudley out of Dallas, I don't see how they could convince him, although he wouldn't be completely surprised if he heard about Alvin Gentry now. I was much more confident in getting him before they signed McMillan and Brooks, but I think there's still a chance of that happening. Due to the strong bond between him and Anthony Davis, the Lakers are looking to recreate the spirit of the 1980s teams. Therefore, James Morgo has remained the head coach for the last 2 years, being seen as Anthony Davis's choice to lead the team. Even though the Lakers didn't show interest in James Morgo, choosing Redick over him, I believe they would be willing to sign someone especially for Anthony Davis. Who knows, maybe Alvin Gentry could be the right choice to fill that role, considering the close relationship he has with Davis and the team's vision of building an old-school roster inspired by the great teams of the 80s. Alvin Gentry is currently coaching in New Orleans, where he has had one of the best years of his coaching career. During his time there, He achieved impressive marks such as averaging 28 points per game, 11 rebounds, nearly 3 blocks, and even came third in MVP voting. These achievements highlight his talent and expertise in basketball. Bringing Gentry to the Lakers would be a great addition to the team. He clearly knows how to maximize Anthony Davis's performance, which is essential to the team's success. Furthermore, his presence would be very beneficial for J.J. Redick, who could learn a lot from someone who has coached high-level players like Davis. Having Gentry on the team would not only improve the offense, but also strengthen the entire group with his experience and skills. I really hope they can finally make this happen. But there's bad news about Phil Handy. According to Anthony Irwin, you can interpret it whatever you want, but Phil Handy was helpful, in quotes. I'm upset he wasn't considered to be head coach. Getting fired like that can't be easy, even if they tried to give him a chance to get hired somewhere else. It really doesn't seem like a good situation for Phil. Unfortunately, they are still looking for a new coach who specializes in developing players, and I don't understand why they let the previous one leave. Maybe he aspired to a higher role, and that didn't materialize. Either way, I'm not happy with this situation, and now I'm completely out of ideas about who they could choose to fill this role. I really like Alvin Gentry and Rajon Rondo, but neither really fits the role of developing young players. So this position is completely open at this point, but now let's talk about the trade target I mentioned earlier. I'm talking about Bruce Brown Jr. According to Anthony Irwin, the Lakers are keeping an eye on him. We've heard about this many times in the last year, a lot of times. What matters is that they really want to sign you if they can. I'm not sure they can make it happen, and don't get me wrong, Bruce Brown Jr. is very much available, according to reports, but I don't think he's the ideal fit for them. He has a tough contract to negotiate, earning more than D'Angelo Russell or Rui Hachimura. This means they would have to put together multiple contracts to sign him, which they can only do if they can stay under the salary cap. But the main point is that it would be complicated to bring him to the team. I think he would be an upgrade over Hachimura, but just a little. I'm not sure he would be good enough to justify a complicated trade. If he was a better three-point shooter, maybe I would consider it, but that's not the case. Over the last 2 years, he made over 35% of his three-point shots, but last season, that number dropped to just 32%. That's simply not good enough to partner with LeBron and Anthony Davis, even if he's 37 years old. He's a 5-star three-point shooter now, and I really admire his defense and work ethic. But honestly, I'm not ready to make a trade for him again. He might improve a little compared to D'Lo and Hachimura, but not enough to justify a trade like that. But looking the other way, I would consider trading for Jeremy Grant, Cam Johnson, or even Kyle Kuzma. They all have a better three-point shot and are bigger wings than him. This would be crucial if they decide to trade Hachimura, which is a real possibility. To conclude, I like the names that are linked to their coaching team, like McMillan and Brooks. I would also think it would be cool to have Rajon Rondo and Alvin Gentry with them, but I'm not that excited about the idea of adding Bruce Brown at this point. Hey guys, so what do you guys think about all this? Would you think it would be cool to have Rajon Rondo and Alvin Gentry on the coaching staff? And about Bruce Brown Jr., what do you think about trying to negotiate with him? I want to hear from you. Thank you for watching this far. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue receiving the next content. Access now our playlist that will appear on the screen or in the pinned comment with all the latest news from the Lakers, and stay tuned behind the scenes, highlights, last-minute controversies, transfers, everything about the Los Angeles Lakers team. Until the next video.